Hello and welcome. This video is based on a synthesis of the ideas of Robert Anton Wilson and Joe Dispenza, two very different types of thinkers who are both pioneers when it comes to understanding neurology and brain change from a spiritual perspective. Changing your brain is not only possible, but also something that you can actively participate in. The idea that the brain is static, unchanging, and hardwired is outdated. Instead, science now tells us that the brain is highly adaptable and capable of significant transformation, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, much due to how you handle your inner life and what behavior you engage in habitually. This capacity allows you to change how your brain functions, which in turn can and will transform the very structure of your brain. First, this all begins with the willingness to take charge of your inner life and your habitual behaviors, as opposed to just allowing life to happen to you. All your choices and experiences contribute to shaping your neural structure, and if you don't make conscious choices and challenge habitual ways of thinking and behaving, you will not have control over how your brain develops. This is absolutely essential to understand, not just on an intellectual level, but also as something that you incorporate in your interaction with life and the human experience, as a knowledge that is kept at the back of your mind and lived by. Another one of the most important aspects of changing your brain is understanding that it begins with your thoughts. Thoughts are not just fleeting mental events, but rather real physical processes that can alter the brain structure. When you think a thought, it triggers a set of neurons to fire together. If this thought is repeated, the neural connections between these neurons strengthen, making it easier for this thought to occur again. This is often summarized by the phrase, "Neurons that fire together, wire together." In practical terms, the more you focus on positive, empowering thoughts, the more your brain will naturally lean towards those thoughts in the future. Conversely, negative thinking patterns reinforce negative neural connections, making it harder to break out of destructive cycles of thought. It's important to note that this is not a positive thinking scheme. While it is true that focusing on positive thoughts in general has better results than focusing on negative ones, you also need to be able to, on some level, believe in the thoughts. This may, for example, mean that you need to subject yourself to input that feeds positivity. You may, for example, read books or watch movies that inspire you or that boost your confidence. It's important to remember that whatever comes into your field of experience, whether it is an internal state or an external event, has an effect on your neurology. And you can affect what effect your experiences have on you tremendously by how you process them. This leads us to our next point. You need to get out of reactive mode. And to do that, you have to be conscious when your brain starts to drift into negative thought patterns. You need to become conscious of the thoughts you entertain on a regular basis. Many of these thoughts occur automatically and have been ingrained in your mind over time. However, by practicing mindfulness and paying attention to your inner dialogue, you can start to identify which thoughts are beneficial and which are not. Once you identify negative thought patterns, you can actively work to replace them with more positive, constructive ones. This is not merely a psychological exercise, but a physical one as well. By changing your thoughts, you are literally rewiring your brain. To effectively change your brain, it's essential to engage in practices that promote neuroplasticity. Meditation is one such practice. Meditation has been shown to increase gray matter in areas of the brain associated with self-awareness, compassion, and introspection. It also helps reduce gray matter in areas linked to stress and anxiety. Regular meditation can lead to profound changes in brain structure, supporting a shift towards a more peaceful and focused mind. Visualization is another powerful tool for brain change. When you visualize something intensely, your brain processes it as if it were actually happening. This means that through visualization, you can train your brain to experience new realities before they occur. If you consistently visualize success, happiness, and well-being, you can create neural pathways that make these outcomes more likely to manifest in your life. Over time, your brain will begin to align more closely with the reality you are envisioning. In addition to these practices, it's crucial to understand the role of emotions in brain change. Emotions are potent forces that can either help or hinder the process of neuroplasticity. When you experience a strong emotion, it leaves a lasting imprint on your brain. Positive emotions like joy, love, and gratitude enhance your brain's ability to form new, beneficial connections. Negative emotions, on the other hand, can entrench negative thought patterns and reinforce unhelpful neural pathways. By cultivating positive emotions through practices like gratitude journaling, you can support your brain's natural capacity for change. The practice of gratitude is also a potent method to change your brain that will help foster positive emotions. By regularly focusing on what you are thankful for, you shift your brain's focus from scarcity and negativity to abundance and positivity. It's important to note that our perspective is always skewed by what we choose to focus on. If we keep things that we are grateful for in our mind, they will seem to be more plentiful, while if we instead keep our problems in mind, they will seem more plentiful. Again, we come back to the importance of how we handle our inner life, and by choosing what we focus on, we can cultivate more genuine positivity, as opposed to thinking phony positive thoughts that we don't really believe in. Gratitude practices have been shown to increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, and regulating emotions. This shift in brain activity can lead to improved mental health, greater resilience, and a more positive outlook on life. An important principle in changing your brain is the idea of incremental progress. Small, consistent changes over time lead to significant transformations. Rather than attempting to overhaul your thought patterns, behaviors, or habits all at once, focus on making small, manageable adjustments. Each small change reinforces new neural pathways and weakens old ones, gradually leading to lasting change. This principle of gradual change is essential for sustaining long-term growth and development. It is, however, worth mentioning that sudden shocks to the system can create huge instant shifts in our neurology, but these can also be dangerous and are beyond the scope of this video, which is an introduction to neuroplasticity. One of the most exciting aspects of neuroplasticity is its potential to help you overcome past traumas and negative conditioning. Traumatic experiences can leave deep scars on the brain, leading to patterns of fear, anxiety, and other negative emotions. However, through neuroplasticity, it is possible to heal these wounds by forming new positive connections that counteract the effects of past trauma. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, and mindfulness-based stress reduction are all grounded in the principles of neuroplasticity and have been shown to be effective in helping people overcome trauma. In addition to psychological and emotional changes, neuroplasticity also opens up the possibility of enhancing cognitive abilities. Through practices such as brain training exercises, you can improve your memory, focus, and problem-solving skills. These exercises challenge the brain to grow and adapt, leading to improved cognitive function. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body, mental exercise strengthens the brain, enhancing its capacity to learn and adapt. In this context, it's important to note that we can also train the brain to work less efficiently. Prevalent in our culture is to switch focus all the time, which causes us to lose the ability to pay attention in favor of a very erratic, ineffective ability to multitask. It's not that multitasking is always bad. The ability to perform necessary but mindless chores at the same time as you listen to some useful information can be helpful. But when the multitasking consists of watching a TV series while skipping between Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, it is not useful in the least, and in general, People need more neural pathways associated with focusing on one thing during a longer period of time, rather than focusing on many things at the same time, skipping between them every other second. Again, by your choice, you will train your brain to do one thing or the other. It's also important to recognize that changing your brain requires patience and persistence. The brain does not change overnight, and progress can sometimes be slow. However, by maintaining a consistent practice and remaining committed to your goals, you will begin to see changes in your thoughts, behaviors, and overall mental health. Remember that setbacks are a natural part of the process. When you encounter challenges, rather than getting discouraged, use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Each setback provides valuable information that can help you adjust your approach and continue moving forward. A crucial part of changing your brain is developing a strong sense of self-awareness. This involves regularly reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and assessing how they align with your goals. Self-awareness allows you to identify areas where you need to make changes and to track your progress over time. It also helps you to stay mindful of the present moment, rather than getting lost in past regrets or future anxieties. By cultivating self-awareness, you can maintain a clear sense of direction and stay focused on your path of growth. In addition to self-awareness, cultivating a sense of purpose can greatly enhance your brain's ability to change. Having a clear sense of purpose gives you a reason to persevere through challenges and setbacks. It provides motivation and direction, helping you to stay focused on your goals even when the going gets tough. A sense of purpose also activates the brain's reward system, making it more likely that you will stick with your efforts to change. This is the opposite of drifting and reacting habitually to life's circumstances, and is key if you want to change your brain. As long as you are caught in habitual reactions to external circumstances, you cement the neural pathway that you are currently operating from. Remember, you don't have to be perfect at this. Things will start to change once you take the reins of your life, instead of allowing life to happen to you, no matter how many times you fail. It's also worth mentioning that changing your brain is not just a solitary endeavor. Social connections play a vital role in brain health and neuroplasticity. Engaging in meaningful relationships and positive social interactions can stimulate brain activity, promote emotional well-being, and support overall mental health. On the other hand, social isolation and negative relationships can have detrimental effects on the brain, leading to increased stress and a decline in cognitive function. By cultivating positive relationships and surrounding yourself with supportive people, you can enhance your brain's capacity to change. Finally, one of the most important things to remember is that you are not at the mercy of your brain. You have the power to shape and mold your brain through your thoughts, actions, and choices. This process requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to embrace change, but the rewards are well worth it. By taking control of your brain's plasticity, you can transform your mind, improve your mental health, and create a more fulfilling life. The journey of changing your brain is a lifelong process, but with each step you take, you are moving closer to realizing your full potential.